Okay. I think we are good to go. I do think we are good to go. Let me go ahead. I will wait for y'all to join in. Um, Give me 1 second. I need to go ahead and yeah, a couple things I need to change. Once some people start to join in, we can go ahead dive into it. But this is my first stream back since the new year, so happy New Year's to you all. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and get into it once people join in, and I'll just go ahead and wait for y'all to do so. But yeah. Let's see here. If you guys haven't joined the Discord already, you can go ahead and do so. I'm attaching the link to it throughout the stream a couple times in the comment section below, whatever the case is. So y'all can go ahead and join that whenever you feel like it. But basically, we just talk about whatever in there. It's not even just Laker stuff. It's sports in general. So go ahead and join that if you guys want. But other than that, we can go ahead and get started with the stream in just a second. Let us see. Vikings said back to back dub. What's popping? It's a great win. It's great to finally get some back to back wins, and it feels good, Viking. I'll tell you that much. I mean, this team is slowly coming back to being healthy, to just being back to what they were before the injuries and COVID cases, right? So I'm just glad that they can get some wins. I'm just glad that they're back in business essentially, and people want to say, well, it's just against the Timberwolves. Well, it's just against a trash team without Cat and Anthony Edwards, but it's still a good win regardless, because the Timberwolves are a very streaky team, right? I mean, we've seen it before. So I'm not tripping. I am not tripping. But let's see what's good. Like I mentioned before, Happy New Year's to all of you guys. I know I did stream a couple days ago when they played Portland, but you know, obviously. But yeah, go ahead, talk about whatever. I know there are a lot of things that happen in basketball or just around the sports world in general since then. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm all here for it. Let's see. The streak is over. Which streak are you talking about? Are you talking about the streak or like our losing streak or what? What's good? Yeah, I don't know which streak you're referring to. Are you talking about like our losing streak, Viking, or what's good? Well, what's good, y'all? Got some people in the chat. Assert yourselves. Let me know what you think about this Laker game against the Wolves. Oh, LeBron's 30 plus streak. Yeah, but hey, I don't. I mean, listen, dude, stats are amazing, I guess, but like, I'll take the win. That's the thing I prefer over the. I think LeBron more so cares about the Lakers winning than, you know. Yeah, but I'm waiting on. I am waiting on a couple of people. I know they wanted to. Let's see here. Yeah, streak's over, but Lakers won, and that's important. Like probably the most important thing that I saw from this game is LeBron's half court. In terms of the way that he plays, I mean, it's just, dude, like I think LeBron could legitimately prolong his career with the way that he's playing. I mean, he's being so effective, impacting the game in so many different ways, and he's not even touching the ball as much as he once used to. Now, I don't know the ultimate stats for that, but if you watch the games, then you know LeBron's not holding on to the balls as much as he once used to. And I don't believe Westbrook had an amazing game by any means, but I do believe that he does take care of the ball in terms of just relieving LeBron from those duties. So, yeah, Viking says still don't like his body language. Are you talking about LeBron or Russell Westbrook? Because I mean, it depends. When things aren't going LeBron's way, he tends to show kind of a frustrated body language. So if you're referring to that, I get that. As for Russ, he does get frustrated too. Whenever I think at the end of the first half, when he got benched with 40 seconds to go, he just went in straight into the locker room. So I don't. Viking says, "Oh, there's so much more not to like about Russ," but I meant LeBron. Yeah, I get that. With LeBron, I mean, I can't. I don't want to like blame him for that because he's a competitor, right? And when things don't go his way, he can tend to show that kind of body language. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I understand it. Albert, what is good? Welcome back. We're back at it with the stream. Glad that you joined. Glad that Viking has joined. Get some more people in here. Uh, we'll see what's good. What is good with y'all? Bring anything else up other than the Lakers, you feel? I mean, it doesn't have to be only Lakers. I mentioned that before. I just mentioned to the Discord, I am live now, so I don't know if Gigi and them have come to every single stream. So I'm sure at some point during the stream they will come through. But we'll see. We'll see. But what is good, guys? Right now, I'm having a good time. Lakers won. I mean, when is it not a good time if the Lakers win? It's always a good time if they win. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, you can still take away like negatives away from this game. So, Russell Westbrook had too many turnovers, right? Let me tell you something. Russell Westbrook got that many turnovers and we still won. And I don't care if it's against the Timberwolves. When your point guard turns the ball over 9 times or however many times he's turned it over, your chances of winning are pretty slim. So the fact that we won, it tells me that our team is in a good position moving forward. If Russ can limit the turnovers, right? I mean, at the overall this season, he's been doing a pretty okay job at it. This game, just not that good. So I hopefully that does not stick. Albert says Bulls are first in the East. Yes, they are. They are first in the East. It's interesting. Interesting to wonder how long they can keep it up for. So yeah. Let us see. Russ doesn't box our closeout. I feel like he just plays stat pad and basketball. Seems as though we have to win in spite of him. Yeah, I mean that's our only option, right? Sometimes Russ can play like really, really well for us, and I think overall this year he has been playing pretty well from us. But there are those moments where I feel like he looks too much at his stats. And that's not a knock against Russ because I feel like a lot of players look up at the scoreboard, right? The jumbotron that every arena has, and they look at their stats. And Russ gets frustrated when he sees more turnovers than he wants, and he tries to force it a lot. And the competitor that Russ is, he's going to play kind of rash sometimes. But the Lakers, just like this game, and just like how they've been doing at some points in the year, they have made sure that it has not gone out of control because we have seen other teams that have just been decimated when Russ goes out of control. I feel like the Lakers have kept him in check for the most part. And this is not even the Lakers 100% healthy, right? The Lakers have so much more potential moving forward in terms of how they perform. And, we've seen them beat some good teams this year, like the Heat, They've competed against the Nets, the Bucks, right? I mean, and the Warriors, the Suns. Like I believe they're capable of beating them all. It's just a matter of the Lakers needing to get healthy, getting right, getting the chemistry going, and this is where it all starts. So I'm feeling pretty confident about this Laker team. I really am. Like after seeing the way that the Lakers changed how LeBron would approach the game, right, in terms of him being the primary ball handler, they took a lot of that duty away from LeBron and to Russ. So now LeBron's being able to become more effective without the basketball. And that's literally the best thing the Lakers can ask for is that LeBron doesn't have to hold on to the ball 24/7 in order to be effective. That is such a key in prolonging someone's career. LeBron's able to play much more in the post. He's able to conserve his energy for much more on defense. So, yeah. Albert says, how much better would the Warriors be with Klay coming back? I mean, you would assume that they're going to be better regardless, right? I mean, Klay was just a fantastic player back then. I don't expect him to return ever to that kind of caliber of a player because of the fact that he's had two major injuries. You know his defense is going to take a step back. But just in terms of his effectiveness, his aura, in terms of the chemistry that him, Klay, Steph, and Steve Kerr have, I just think ultimately it's going to be a positive thing for the Warriors. It would never be a negative thing for Klay Thompson to come back. It really would never be. Viking says depends on what Klay they're getting back, Albert. Yeah, that is true. Depends, but regardless of what I said earlier, I think with Klay Thompson, I don't see a way in which he would make the Warriors worse. And I know the Warriors are going to ease him back into the game. They're not just going to throw him into the starting lineup and have him play, 40 minutes. They would never do that. So, the Warriors, the organization that they are, they take good care of their superstars. There's no way they're going to let Klay Thompson play that many minutes and be reckless with him. But I can't wait because, as much as, I want the Warriors to not win, I want Klay to come back badly because I really like Klay Thompson. And it was just unfortunate how he got injured big time, 2 times. Viking says doctors have almost perfected those surgeries at this point, so I'm sure he'll be back at least 80%. Yeah, I mean, listen, like the doctors are never going to make a mistake in terms of, is he able to play or not? Like they're going to do the surgery like the way that they have to, right? But in terms of his ability to play basketball at a high level like how he used to, I'm not sure if that's ever going to be the same, but we'll see. And I mean, maybe he'll be back at least 80%. I expect it to be somewhere around there, right? I expected Klay Thompson to come in and, I'm going to disregard that. Albert says, how do you feel about getting our boy Denzel Valentine? Let me tell you something, Albert. We're waiving Denzel Valentine. It's because in order to do that, we created a roster spot for Stanley Johnson. So, listen, I was panicking a little for Denzel Valentine. I didn't want him. I didn't want Denzel Valentine, but it made much more sense kind of looking into the specifics as to why the Lakers made the move that they did. But we are not getting Denzel Valentine. We're going to waive him. So if he has not been already. So I'm chilling. Yeah. Don't scare me like that. But yeah, what's good? I wonder what other moves the Lakers might make. To be honest, like I've mentioned before, I believe this roster is already good enough to win a championship. I don't think that they need to make any major tweaks. In terms of minor tweaks, like, maybe adding a role player or whatever the case is, like how they did with Stanley Johnson. Yeah, maybe they might do something like that. But when people are saying, trade Russ or trade AD, it's like, dude, come on, use your brain. They're not actually going to trade Russ. They're not actually going to trade AD. It's just not going to happen. They're not going to do it. I'm willing to bet. Whoever in the chat believes that they are going to trade Russell Westbrook, I am willing to bet because they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. I wonder if Drew's going to come in today. I don't know if the Warriors, I don't think they played today, but yeah. Viking says, Klay still being able to heat up like dry grass in the desert would be a problem for the league all over again. And that's the thing, Viking. I do believe that Klay has that in him still. Klay, whatever, even if he's 50%, he still has that ability to shoot. So once Klay does come back, I mean, he is going to just, woo, I feel like he's going to be a little bit of a defensive liability again, or not again because he's never been, but he may become one. I don't know. I still don't know, but he might be an extra step slower. It's going to take time for him to readjust back into the NBA, but I'm confident he'll be just fine. Speaking of, I don't know what I mean. God knows when Klay comes back and Drew and oh Lord. Yeah, yeah. I think the Lakers are playing the Kings. Albert says Laker fans are the most spoiled fan base. Even though you're cool, they think they can trade for anyone. Yeah, I would say a lot of those people are LeBron bandwagons too, because they want what's best for their idol, right? So they say, "Oh yeah, we can trade for Lillard. Oh yeah, we can trade for Curry," right? I've seen that before. I think Laker fans are also spoiled. Not all of them, but some of them are. But I don't know. I mean, I don't love Laker fans. I know some Laker fans who I'm just like, dude, you're kind of annoying. Which is why a lot of people hate the Lakers is because of their fans. I mean, this is what I mentioned before. Like, a lot of people hate the Cowboys, right? A majority of it is because they hate the fans. So I'm not surprised. I am honestly not surprised. Viking says, yeah, they're pretty toxic and trigger friendly on the trades. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, I was pissed off when I started seeing Laker fans, also LeBron fans talking about trading Anthony Davis. I'm like, how dare you? You guys are probably so toxic because Anthony Davis is a guy. If it wasn't for him, we're not winning that championship in 2020. As great as LeBron James is, he's not winning a chip without AD and vice versa. And to say that you just want to trade him just because he was getting hurt this year from an injury that he couldn't avoid himself, I mean, that's just toxic. That's just toxic. And it's just that's what I don't like about Laker fans is that they let their emotions speak for them and they become unrealistic and trust me, it pisses me off too. It's not just you guys, and I hate it how those fans can put a bad rep on good Laker fans like me because there are plenty of real Laker fans out there who are chill and all that other stuff. But dang, dude, there are some really toxic people out there, and that's what I just don't. I've never liked that. But we'll see. We'll see what I don't like I mentioned before, I don't think any major trades are gonna happen. I don't think any I don't I mean knowing the Lakers, they may make one move, maybe two minor moves, like I said, role players, but they're not I keep seeing this stuff for Jeremy Grant and it's not gonna happen. We can get over that. That's simply not gonna happen. Let's see here. Who is your best player in the NBA, man? I want to go with LeBron, but listen, Kevin Durant has been. It's him and I think LeBron and KD are the two best players in the world. I'm not even gonna waste my time bothering in terms of who's the best because they're both insanely good. So I can't even. I'm not even gonna get into that discussion because that discussion can go back and forth forever. LeBron to do what he's doing at this age, uh, it really LeBron is that great, and then when people talk about Kevin Durant, he's great too. So honestly, I'm not going to go in order, but LeBron and KD, two best players in the world. That's how I have it. People want to talk about Giannis, right? Giannis is great, but he's no LeBron and KD. And Steph Curry, I think, is not LeBron or KD. He's there, but he's not better than LeBron and KD. I'm telling you that now. Viking says AD has probably been the most frustrating person beside Westbrook to watch in the league. He also says Giannis is the best player in the world right now. That's coming from the biggest LeBron supporter to walk this earth. Disagree with you, Viking, respectfully. I mean, Giannis is fantastic, and we know the things he's doing with the Bucks. But it's always LeBron has been the best player in the world for so long now, and the only reason why Giannis, this is even a question is because LeBron has been injured. right? Last year, he had that high ankle sprain injury. A couple seasons ago, he had that groin injury. But when LeBron is healthy, he's always proving to be the best player in the league. He's always in the finals. He's always, competing in the finals. So I'm sorry, just because Giannis and them are doing their thing now, LeBron, he's healthy right now, and the streak that he's on. I mean, I'm sorry, but Giannis, I can't agree with you about Giannis being the best player in the world right now. He's not better than KD. He's not better than LeBron. And you can have the debate about whether or not he's better than Steph Curry when Steph Curry's healthy. So that's the thing. That's the thing with me. I love Giannis. I think he's a top 5 player easily, but I'm sorry. When LeBron's healthy, I think he's one of the best, if not the best. KD, same deal. So those two are my top 2, and then I have Steph and Giannis 3 and 4. Not in that order, but you kind of see my tiers, right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So I'm sorry. LeBron has been just too great. He's been just too great for me to just sit here and not say that he's not top 2. Are you kidding me? Like, when have we stopped talking about LeBron not being the best player in the world? Because I remember in 2019, he was still regarded as the best player in the world, and then he tore his groin, and then Kawhi won that same year, and then people were saying, well, Kawhi's the best player in the league now. And then LeBron comes back, wins in 2020, well, LeBron's the best player in the league. So can't go back and forth. Albert says, I think AD plays too timid. The thing with AD is that he just got to play himself. I think he's being told a lot of things from the coaching staff, from the analytics folks, from the fans, right? He just got to play his style. And when he was told to put on the weight and stuff of that sort, right? He was told to play like someone that he's not. It puts a lot of hesitancy in his head. It puts a lot of doubt in his head, right? So if you tell AD to just go out there and play like the way he did in 2020 or the way he did out there when he was in New Orleans, yeah. Viking says, if we're talking about moments in the game, then okay, I can understand that. But as far as consistency and efforts on both ends throughout the game, he's ridiculous. LeBron picks his spots. I agree with you. Giannis is more consistent in terms of the effort and stuff like that on the defensive end and stuff, things of that sort. But my thing with LeBron is that he has so many other ways to dominate. It's not even just through scoring. It's not even just through, driving into the paint. You think about a guy, 6'8", 6'9", 250, 260, whatever he is. He can do so much. He's a better 3-point scorer than Giannis, right? I'll give you Giannis on defense because Giannis is in his prime and LeBron isn't. But LeBron's he's simply a better playmaker. And there's a difference between just passing the basketball for an assist and actually setting your teammate up for a good shot. Those are completely different things because I think that's what LeBron does. I mean, you hear Magic Johnson talk about it. There's a difference between just a regular passer and being a legitimate playmaker, making your teammates that much better. And LeBron, I mean, we see it time and time again. He's able to dominate the ball. He's able to dominate the court in so many different ways. It's ridiculous. I would love to see a finals between the Lakers and Bucks if they're both healthy, because that's what I wanted to see last year, right? I mean, the Bucks should have been in the finals in 2020, but we know what happened. The Heat took them down, and LeBron took care of business with the Lakers, and they won. So I'm sorry. I'm not willing to give Giannis the crown as the best player in the world yet. Until the day that LeBron is just not simply as dominant anymore, or is just too injury prone, or whatever the case is. Giannis is not better than LeBron. He's just not. LeBron's a better shooter, passer, leader. I think the only thing Giannis is better at is defense, and he's just younger. I mean, obviously he's gonna do certain things better than LeBron at this age. Albert says, I don't see that aggressiveness to take over a game at times. Are you talking about AD or LeBron? Because I know you brought up AD earlier. Are you mentioning LeBron right now or what? Because LeBron doesn't need to be 100% aggressive all the time. He's 37 years old. The way he's playing, he doesn't need to be 100% aggressive all the time. And the Lakers are going to, okay, you're talking about AD. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. AD just needs to go back to what he used to be. That's all. He just needs to go back to what he used to be, and then I think we will be fine. I think the Lakers will be fine. AD needs to lose the 10 to 15 pounds that he gained over the summer, because I'm telling you now, people, like, he was told to gain that weight because the Lakers said, oh yeah, the stats say you play better at center. We want you playing more center. AD puts on the weight, he gets injured, things are not working well, and now all of a sudden we have to blame AD for that. All of the blame? I mean, literally, like, this is why I say analytics is not everything. It's because analytics can be misleading sometimes. I mean, if you're watching the Laker game, there's an analytic that was brought up that if the Lakers give up more than 18 offensive rebounds to the opposing team, the Lakers are 3-0. I mean, that is just a hugely misleading stat. Viking says for 10 years, LeBron has been the best with KD on his heels, sort of. But after what I saw last year from the playoffs from Giannis in the finals, he earned that title, even if it's for just a season. Here's the thing, Viking. You mentioned that, but you failed to mention that. Let's be honest here. What would have been Giannis's narrative if KD was just an inch away from the point that he took the shot? If he had just made that three and the Nets win that series, do you honestly see Giannis as, the best player in the world? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's just simply that I'm sorry. Last year, I still need to see more. In order for Giannis to overtake LeBron and KD and those kind of players as the best player in the world, he needs to do it multiple times. He can't just win one time, right? And considering how many teams were injured, right? I'm sorry. Albert says, GG, what is good? What is up, Albert? He hit the 2, yeah. But what I'm simply saying is the narrative would have changed so much if KD hit the 3 instead of the 2. I still, no. You want to talk about, KD. KD's better than Giannis. And I still think LeBron, when healthy, is better than Giannis. Sorry. I mean, that's just an opinion. So, yeah. Pedro says, wahaha, another wannabe analyst never played the game. I mean, that's fine. I'm just giving out my thoughts, and we're talking about things like this, right? Never said I was always right. Viking says, no, I wouldn't see him as the best, but that didn't happen. And then he proceeded to have possibly the greatest final game ever. Saying Danny says, KD and LeBron are for sure better than Giannis. I've been saying it for years. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you saying KD and LeBron are better than Giannis. But when LeBron gets injured, when KD gets injured, that's when people are going to say Giannis is better. But the fact is that KD and LeBron have always been the best players in the world. But when they get injured, that's an opportunity for a player like Kawhi to be, quote, the best player in the world. That's a player when Giannis could be the best player in the world. So I'm just saying, like, listen, I can respect your opinion if you disagree with me about KD and LeBron being better. But I just don't disagree with. I don't agree with how you say Giannis is the best because all of a sudden I don't know how he eclipsed KD and LeBron as the best player. I don't know how he did it. I'm sorry. Scott says Stephen A. Smith is beefing with Kyrie because Kyrie didn't get the jab. God knows what's going to happen with that situation. Derek Owen says LeBron the GOAT. Viking says that's okay. I respect your opinion. We're just talking. 100% agree with you, Viking. While I do respectfully disagree with your opinion about Giannis being the best, we are just talking. We're having a good time, right? Saying Danny says KD is the best scorer of all time. It's either him or Kobe. So, like I said, if you want to go with KD as the best scorer of all time or Kobe, I can't disagree with you on that. Viking says you can't compare what Kawhi did with Toronto to what Giannis did with the Bucks. I'm not comparing in terms of what they accomplished. I'm just talking about the fact how LeBron was the best player all the way up into 2018. And then there was only a doubt in people's mind is because he tore his groin and the Lakers didn't make the playoffs that year. So, sorry. Let's see. Gigi said, but can any of your favorite players make 3-point game-winning clutch shot 2 nights in a row? Yeah, they can. Saying Danny says, OMG, Kobe's not even closest to being the best scorer. Come on, dude. I respectfully disagree with that. I think we all regard Kobe as one of the greatest scorers ever. I'm sorry, but to say Kobe's not even close to being the best scorer, uh, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kobe is easily one of the best scorers ever. He really is. I think Derek Owens just said Jordan is a better scorer than Jordan, and then he deleted his message. Okay, he said Jordan was a better scorer than Kobe. Overall, no, but Jordan was a better mid-range scorer than Kobe. Kobe was a way better three-point shooter than Jordan. Viking says, okay, but Kawhi was going to lose to KD in those finals had he not gotten injured. LD was on the floor when Giannis hit the turnaround in KD's house. Yeah, but I'm just simply saying, though, regardless, like, KD before Achilles injuries, like, I'm just saying, those are two different KDs, regardless of however you want to look at it. And the Nets last season were weaker than the Warriors those other years with KD. But all I'm saying is that KD when healthy, LeBron when healthy. As a player, I don't think he's better than KD and LeBron as a player. Peter Sal says, one of the greatest, no doubt, but not the best. Like I mentioned before, you can have a debate about that. But what I'm simply saying is that when you say Kobe is not even close to being in that discussion as being one of the greatest scorers, that's disrespectful to the Black Mamba. Richard said LeBron got 30-plus points for these last 7 games, bro. That's what I'm saying. LeBron's been going off. And when LeBron's healthy, I mean, I honestly, him and Durant, who is better than him and Durant when they're both healthy? Seriously. Tanner says DeRozan would never have gotten the opportunity to hit a game winner in Toronto. Saying Danny says Kobe had never had a single season of 50% shooting, not a single season of 40% three-point shooting. He can't be in the discussion for one of the best. See, here's the thing, saying Danny, you keep on talking about all these stats. You bring up the stats. And this is what I don't like. When people bring up stats, analytics can only be taken into consideration to a certain extent. You got to watch the game with your 2 eyes, and you got to understand there's so much to the game basketball than just stats, you know? And if we want to go based off stats, Wilt Chamberlain is the GOAT because no one ever touched Wilt Chamberlain's numbers. So, but that's what I'm saying. There's so much that goes more into it. Gigi says Kobe is second to Jordan. I agree with you about that. I'm just saying, you know, you guys can have your own opinions about who you believe are the best players. You know, in my lifetime, I think Kobe was the greatest player that I've ever seen. My lifetime. But that's just my opinion, okay? That is just my opinion. I think in my opinion, it goes Jordan, Kobe, and then LeBron. And if you want to compare those 3 players, you can switch LeBron and Kobe. It's your decision, but let's all make it clear Jordan's number 1. Madrista says Kobe was clutch more than any of them. Agreed. I mean, when you talk about clutch, Kobe is that kind of guy. And, you know, man, Kobe was something, man. I'm telling you what, like, you want to talk about stats. You know, this new generation of basketball, everyone cares about the stats. There are more stats nowadays to get, right? Had Kobe been in this generation with the skill, the footwork, the IQ that he has, I mean, he could simply average 35 every year if he wanted to. Okay, he really could, because that's the kind of player Kobe was. Okay, in this kind of era with all the fouls and the soft calls, I mean, Kobe was always getting hit on the hand every time he shot the ball. He was always getting hit. The pump fakes, I don't see how you can defend Kobe in this era. Saying Danny says stats are the truth, numbers don't lie. And I did watch Kobe miss multiple shots every game. I mean, you talk about Kobe like he was never a good shooter or scorer. Why does he have 5 rings if he was never a good scorer? If you believe that. If you just want to go off the stats, how did he win 5 rings? If LeBron has significantly better stats than Kobe, why does he not have more rings than Kobe? You keep on talking about stats, but I'm telling you, there's so many there's so much more than just stats. And I'll tell you what Kobe also does is defense. Okay, he is tied, I think him and Carmelo or whoever it is, for the most defensive all first teams. I mean, Kobe was a defensive monster, dude. I mean, you think about defensive guards, right? Wade, Kobe, Jordan. Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year. Kobe, so many first team all defenses. Dwayne Wade, we know the kind of player he was on defense. LeBron does not compare to those players on defense. Neither does Kevin Durant, neither does, whoever else you want to talk about in this generation. Peter says, you don't seriously believe Kobe's top 3, but I respect the loyalty. No, I do believe it. I seriously do believe it. I mean, I just think Kobe's work ethic, Kobe's skill, a skill beats talent all day in my books, okay? Footwork has always gotten the better of some of these players in the league nowadays. Skill is what beats, high-flying talent. I mean, how many players have we seen with a bunch of talent but have never amounted to anything? That's all I'm saying. Sane says, I bet you think Kobe's more clutch than LeBron. LeBron kills Kobe's clutch stats in the regular season and playoffs. Most of what people say about Kobe is just a myth. Heavily disagree with you, saying, like I mentioned before, I've watched both players my whole life, and I can't agree with that. I'm sorry. Gigi says, the myth, the legend, Drew's in the building. He is in the building. Derek Owen says, LeBron has more points than Jordan and Kobe, and he's a pass-first player. Yeah, but he's also been playing for 19 seasons, and he's been playing 30-plus minutes a game in every single season. Smooth DNA says, Kobe was our Jordan. No flaws. The second ship with Pau Gasol was his worst year. Drew Dawson says, Klay Thompson's coming back on Sunday against the Cavs. Yes, he is. He is coming back against the Cavs. Sayin Danny says he had 5 rings because he was carried by Shaq and then by Gasol plus Odom. And Kobe dethroned the Pistons team that dethroned Kobe plus Shaq. And Bron did it with the trash team. That's how I know that you kind of lack that knowledge, is because you look at stats. That Pistons team was not the same that dethroned Kobe and Shaq. There was no Larry Brown and there was no Ben Wallace. I mean, those are 2 significantly huge pieces on that Pistons team that LeBron did not have to face, that Kobe and Shaq did. But I'm not excusing Kobe and Shaq for losing to the Pistons. LeBron had an amazing series in 2007 against the Pistons. I watched those games, okay? I've watched both of them their entire careers. So all I'm saying is stats, unfortunately, have taken over this generation's mindset as to what makes a good player. And I'm sorry. Y'all just want to go off the stats, and I'm sorry. Larry Bird was better than Kobe. Okay. Sayin says, realistically, Kobe's not top 10, not hating anyone. Top 30, still great. Drew Dawson says, rest in peace, Kobe the legend, never be forgotten. Peter South says, nah, I'm capping. Kobe, yeah. Kobe was amazing. Smooth DNA says, y'all know Kobe better than Jordan. That's a hot take. That is a hot take. Tanner says, but Kobe was the leading scorer on all of those teams, though. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, watch the games. Don't just rely off stats, because all of your guys' arguments, right? All of your guys' arguments, at least most of your guys' arguments. Oh, you look at most field goal miss of all time. Oh, you look at this. You look at this. Well, most field goal misses of all time, that's going to happen when you shoot the most. LeBron is climbing up that list for most turnovers of all time. Why? Because he's handled the ball his entire career. It's going to happen. That's not a knock against LeBron, okay? So that's the same logic that coincide with each other. That's why I don't agree with, just looking at a number and just say, oh, well, look at this. So, and look at the other players on that list. Top 5 most field goal misses in NBA history. Those are all great players. Let's see. Kobe was not more clutch than LeBron. Kobe's one of the GOATs, but he has the most missed field goals in NBA history. Okay. Respectfully, I would have to disagree. Kobe's not a top 3 player, and it's blasphemous to say that LeBron doesn't compare to Kobe and D-Wade defensively. That man is literally the Swiss Army knife defender. Let's see. Odom. LeBron's my second favorite after Reggie Miller. That's interesting. Scott says LeBron is the GOAT simply because of the longevity and the level of talent he faced during his career, especially the Warriors. Now, see, if you want to make a point like that, that's fair, right? I'm not going to disagree with that because he has had crazy long career, and I don't see him slowing down. Saiyan says Kobe never had a single memorable playoff series. Think about it. LeBron and Jordan had multiple. Kobe never took a single season ever, even post Shaq. Really? He never had a memorable playoff series? How about in 2001 where he averaged 32 points with Shaq when they went 15-1? Those were not memorable playoff series? How about in 06, even though they lost 4-3 against the Suns, that game winner going up 3-1 with Smush Parker and Chris Mim? I mean, come on. Come on. Let's be honest here. I mean, what about 2008 Western Conference Finals? They whooped the Spurs in 5 games, the defending champ Spurs. I mean, that's just no. I'm sorry. So, Gigi says some of y'all need to turn on your spell check. For real, Gigi. For real. Saiyan says Kobe never took over a single series, even post Shaq. I don't even want to entertain this anymore because of the fact that I don't believe that you've watched Kobe. I don't believe it. Scholar says Jordan never faced the competition that Kobe and Bron did in the finals. Those Jazz teams were really good, though. Kobe got mad when my boy Lin wanted the shot and banged it. That's true. I'll give Jeremy Lin that. I'll give Jeremy Lin that. Scholar says Kobe has the most missed field goals in NBA history. Listen, bro, typing in caps is not going to make your argument any more valid than what it already is. Peter says, subscribe, bro. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. Derek says Kobe wasn't the leading scorer on championship teams with Shaq, and never said he was. Scholar says Kobe was getting sent home by Steve Nash in the first and second round. I mean, compare those teams, dude. Smush Parker, Chris Mim, Devin George, Kwame Brown. I mean, come on. You expect them to beat the Suns? Let's see. Damian Lillard is better than LeBron. Okay, Smooth DNA. Let's chill out a little bit. How they look? Lol, what is this? Honestly, I don't even know what this is anymore. I don't even know how this turned into the way it is now. I mean, I was just talking about the Lakers right now and how, LeBron is just I'm sorry, like LeBron has been dominant, and that's what I was talking about, how he's been carrying, right, and doing all these great things for the Lakers, and then people start bringing up Kobe, Jordan, and then they started going back in the history of Kobe. I'm just like, what's going on? Viking says, I'm not hating, but for 3 championships, Kobe wasn't even the best player on his own team. And you know what, though? If prime LeBron was on that team with Shaq, prime Shaquille O'Neal is probably the best prime of all time. You put LeBron on that team, LeBron's not the best player on that team. Nobody, 99% of the players would not be the best player on that team. So that's not really a knock against Kobe. That's really more so to highlight how dominant Shaq was in those years. I mean, his prime was just disgusting. It really was. Saying says, funny thing is the only basketball jersey I own is Kobe's. That's pretty funny, actually. Scott says those Jazz teams wouldn't make the playoffs in today's league. I mean, we'll never know, Scott, right? I mean, it's just kind of hard to look at someone else's era and try plugging him into today's system. I mean, I just don't know how. I really don't want to make that comparison because at the end of the day, no one would be able to come out with an answer. Peter says Lakers and Westbrook will somehow find a way. Oh, you said LeBron, not Westbrook. Saiyan says, bro, you were talking stupid, saying that Prime LeBron would not be better than Prime Shaq on the Lakers. Come on, man. Your basketball opinions are purely based on hype and emotion. I'm sorry. Prime Shaquille O'Neal won 3 championships in a row. Prime LeBron couldn't even three-peat. So where are we trying to get at here? You love talking stats. Prime Shaquille O'Neal probably had one of the greatest stat lines of all time. I can't argue with you if you're making baseless arguments like that. Give me some facts as to why Prime LeBron would be better than Prime Shaq. Seriously. You could say Shaq had Kobe, yeah, but you talking about, oh, Kobe got carried by Shaq. Now you guys want to say Shaq had Kobe. This is invalid. You guys are going back and forth just to somehow support your guys' arguments. I'm not saying LeBron. Listen, on my all-time list, LeBron is ahead of Shaq. But in terms of their peaks, right? Even if Shaq's prime was significantly lesser than LeBron's prime in terms of the duration, Shaquille O'Neal's prime was probably one of the best, if not the best, prime in NBA history. So, yeah. Prime LeBron went against the best power forward in the world named Tim Duncan with one of the greatest coaches ever. Prime Shaquille O'Neal did just the same, and Tim Duncan was at the tail end of his career, while Prime Shaquille O'Neal literally had to, verse a prime Tim Duncan. So I disagree with you, Scholar. Viking says the whole debate's literally just opinionated. Shaq is literally the most dominant player ever, and yet he isn't considered of the GOAT. So it's just opinionated based on who we like the most. That's the thing. That's the thing, Viking. It's just on who you like the most. But I'm giving you facts is what I'm giving you. Shaquille O'Neal's peak. I'm just saying he versed a prime Tim Duncan. Okay, LeBron didn't in his peak. I never said Shaq was the GOAT. I just said at his peak versus LeBron's peak, I don't see how you can be a better player than Shaquille O'Neal on that team. Shaq was the guy who demanded the ball, even dunked it over everyone, over double team, triple team. You could not stop him, like literally. So I'm sorry, Shaq three-peated. So there's a difference. Scholar says, I just subscribed. I appreciate you, Scholar. I appreciate you for the support, and let's keep it going. It's your boy said Westbrook had 20 points, bud. Sadly, had half of it in turnovers. They won, but just not very excited about it. Just to win. That's the thing, it's your boy. Like, Westbrook didn't necessarily have a good game. But one of the biggest problems was, yes, he turned the ball over 9 times, but also they didn't really have much interior defense because they don't have AD back. AD makes a big difference. Say whatever you want about AD, but he's always been an elite defender every single season. And once we get AD back, our defense will be better. Our interior defense will be better. Our pick and roll defense will be better. So ultimately, I believe it's just we could not make the stops when it mattered most, but we came out the win. And I'm not going to say, oh, it's, we're going to win the chip. I'm just saying, like, I want these wins. I don't care how we get these wins. It's your boy. I just want them, right? So, yeah. Peter says, I agree. Shaq, greatest center ever, but LeBron's greater. Yeah, LeBron is greater. I'm never disputing that. LeBron on my all-time list is ahead of Shaquille O'Neal. If Shaq had the work ethic of a Kobe or Jordan or LeBron, he would probably be the GOAT because he would never put himself out of shape and he would be able to win more than 4 championships. I mean, that's just being honest. Saying Danny says, name a player that can carry the 2006-2007 Cavs to finals. I dare you to say, Shaq, could we look up the roster right now, please? I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I still don't know how that relates to the debate we were having earlier. Scholar says AD wasn't playing like an elite defender this season. He actually made them worse this year, bro. Yeah, but that's because of the fact, like I mentioned before, he gained 10 to 15 pounds because the Lakers wanted him to play center, And when he does that, he loses an extra step in terms of his versatility on defense, right? That's why we saw players like, Jonathan Williams or whoever the heck that guy on the Celtics. Like, I went to that game. They were just posterizing AD. I'm like, this is not the same AD. He hasn't been able to have that same quick first step. He's not able to become that same versatile defender that he once used to be when he was 10, 15 pounds slimmer. So it makes a difference. But I'm saying those other years, Scholar, it's just AD was an elite defender back then. And I'm saying if we can get that AD back, the slimmer AD, the New Orleans AD, the 2020 AD, we going to be just fine. Drew Dawson says, I still don't think you guys are going to be able to beat the Warriors this season. We do play you guys against a couple times. I don't think you guys are going to. It's fair. Scholar says how he gained 10 pounds and gets softer, though. That don't make sense. He should be more of a bully, but he isn't. See, here's the thing. AD's game has always been like a finesse kind of style, right? He's a power forward, can move around like a point guard, right? He can get a quick first step. He has a mid-range, right? He had a 3-point shot. But when you gain the 10 to 15 pounds, right? I mean, it just slows him down significantly. And he's never been a bully ball kind of player. Like I mentioned before, he's all about dribbling around the opponent and doing things of that sort, like a guard would do, not how like a Shaq would do, not even like how a Joel Embiid would do in the post. So it's really just play style matter, and AD's never been that big bully ball center. So he really just needs to go back to what he used to be in 2020 and just play power forward AD. I hope the Lakers never play him at center again, only in spurts perhaps. But man, AD is it's tough out here for him. It is tough. AD equals Greg Oden. Oh Lord. Peter South says AD spends too much time at an eyebrow salon. Scott says AD is one spin move away from breaking his hip. And GG says AD equals Packers fan. Oh, Lord. Y'all on it in AD, huh? You guys are getting in on it on AD. You guys don't like AD. Man, y'all are oh man. I hope AD just comes back and dominates, you know? Viking says the debate is so flawed. I don't know why we keep having it. We judge guys at their peak, and then for others, we use longevity and spans for their cases. The most unstoppable player ever, Shaq, period. That's the thing, Viking. I never said that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Shaq's prime, Shaq's peak was him being the most unstoppable force in the league. As much as I love LeBron, and even though he's a greater player than Shaq in an all-time list, Shaq at his peak was better than any other's peak because he is the most unstoppable force. I don't understand what people are confusing that about. Scholar says AD is the softest big man superstar ever. I've seen that everywhere. And you know what? Maybe that's fair to say. Drew Dawson says Draymond Green should be in the MVP discussion. Peter Sal says, so Shaq was greatest at his peak. No, what I'm saying is take every single NBA player's peaks, right? Their best year, whatever you want to say their best year or two was. Shaq, by far, had the most dominant peak. He was the most unstoppable force in NBA history. So what I'm saying is Shaq had a better peak than LeBron did. LeBron just has a longer peak, which is why he's higher on the all-time list. AD should play wheelchair basketball. AD softer than a freaking marshmallow to campfire. Oh my God, you guys are going in on AD. You guys are going in on AD. Dang, isn't this something? Viking, I 100% agree with you. Bro, at least I'm glad you understand what I'm saying, Viking. I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. Because I'm not... I just said he had the greatest peak. Those are two different things. I don't see what's so hard to understand about it. But anyways, guys, I attached the Discord link in the description. We already have, a good amount of people in there. We just talk sports or whatever the case is. Doesn't even have to be about the Lakers. Right? I mean, now we're talking about other things. So if you guys want to go ahead, join that Discord. We talk sports on there. It's pretty active, I would say. It's pretty active. It just kind of gets me to talk with you guys more. Like I said, I want to build this kind of little community. And I like where this is headed. So I want to be able to talk with you guys regarding it. AD got the greatest eyebrow peak. Oh my God, Peter. That's great. AD has the greatest eyebrow peak ever. Gigi says, we need a Warriors fan to join the Discord for our boy Drew. Oh, Lord. Derek Owen says, Shaq was unstoppable. Even the rim was afraid of him. That's my point. There's no other player that has Shaq's peak. I'm sorry. No other player. Shaq was that guy. So we hear this comparison a lot, and we heard a guy from this chat say Draymond Green should be in the MVP conversation. Is Draymond Green gonna stop Shaq one-on-one? You know how that discussion was brought up, right? Can Draymond Green stop a prime Shaquille O'Neal one-on-one? I want to know your thoughts. I already know my answer. I want to know your thoughts, though. What is he, a two-time, one-time Defensive Player of the Year winner? Man, I can't believe that was even a discussion. Viking says Draymond who? Mateo says nope. Peter says Draymond can't stop Shaq's nosebleed. Oh my god. Scholar says, would you rather have Hakeem or Shaq in their prime? Give me Hakeem. See, that's a fair debate. It's a fair debate to have. It's better than Shaq versus Draymond. Brody says, let's go Jarrett Culver. Tribe says, why did we trade for DeAndre Jordan if they're not even going to play him? I would say I don't think we traded for him. We never traded for DeAndre Jordan. We just signed him. Oh, no. Gigi says Curry's mom can stop Shaq in his prime. Okay. Yeah, but Tribe, we didn't trade for DeAndre Jordan, I believe. I thought we just signed him because the Nets got rid of him, and I thought that's when we signed him. I don't recall us trading for him. Am I wrong? I don't know. Viking says, bro, Draymond couldn't get Kevin Durant from leaving. He's not great at getting stops, clearly. I like Viking, man. I like Viking. Peter says, what do you think about the Lakers for the rest of the season? Peter, I think their ceiling is still a championship contending team. But things have to go right for them, right? They have to stay healthy. That's the number one thing. And they have to get chemistry going. They have to get these wins going because, like I mentioned before, LeBron in his first season back with Cleveland in 2014, they started 23-23. Players were injured and they got off to a pretty slow start like the Lakers are now, but then they got their act together and made the finals. So I do believe they have the capabilities of doing so. I'm feeling a little bit better about the Lakers as we move forward, though. As our players are coming back from COVID and injuries, it's just a matter of time before we can get things rolling again, hopefully. In 1998 says, starting to wonder why Ellington isn't playing. I get Avery Bradley and Malik Monk have been great at the two, but Wayne's consistency and hustle helps a lot. I agree with you. I did like Wayne Ellington, but let's be honest here. Malik Monk, man, is that guy. I've been saying it all season long. When we signed Malik Monk to the veteran minimum contract, Malik Monk has that capability, has that potential. When LeBron retires, when AD, whatever, right? Future. Malik Monk can be our future shooting guard. He is that guy. He has that attitude to him. He has that confidence to him. He gets better every single season that he's been in the league. He is only 23 years old. He is that guy. Let's see. Gigi says, y'all have Stanley Johnson now. DeAndre would never see the floor again. Yeah, I mean, I don't think DeAndre Jordan will see the floor. Stanley Johnson's just better defensively. He's a better hustler. Rebounding wise, I mean, DeAndre Jordan has just not been it for the Lakers. Scholar says they have to trade Russ, bring him off the bench, or leave him on the bench in the clutch moments when the game is close. Something about that, like I noticed that when it comes to the clutch, right? LeBron has been the guy handling the ball, and I think that's what they need to do moving forward. You can keep Russ. You can still make it work with LeBron, AD, Monk, and that crew. So, yeah. Let's see. Viking says Monk is that dude. He is that dude. Hassan said, do you think LeBron should be in the MVP conversation this year? 100% he should be. The way he's been playing this season, if he continues to play and not get injured, and if the Lakers could be a top 5 seed in the West, he'll definitely be in that conversation. Scholar says Monk is a beast, 100%. Brody says, are you recording, bro? Are you recording in your closet, bro? That is so cheap. Yes, I am recording in my closet, and I am sorry to you if that is cheap. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I love having conversations with you guys about sports and stuff. So regarding where I am in my setting, I don't think that should, matter right now, at least. I don't know. Do you guys have a problem with me recording in my closet? I don't know. I don't really have any other spots. So if you guys have a problem with that, let me know, and I will do something about it. Let's see. Malik as a vet min guy is insane. 100% agree with you. I can't believe we got Malik Monk on a veteran minimum. We need to give this man an extension. Whatever the case is, whatever, I don't care. Malik Monk, he doesn't care about in the pressure and the Lakers and whatever. He came to the Lakers because he wants to win. He wants to get better. And he could have easily, right? He could have easily what do you call that? He could have easily gotten like 40, 50 million from trash team, right? But he chose to take a veteran minimum because he's like, I want my chance to win a championship. I want to play with great players like a LeBron James. So, Malik Monk's a winner. He has that mentality. And he's gotten better every single year from year 1 to 4. I mean, his first year, he wasn't necessarily the best shooter. Now, fantastic shooter. So he is just always progressing his game. I love Malik Monk. Probably one of my favorite players in the league. Let's see. Brody says, actually, I'm not like that guy, bro. You keep your stuff up. Soon you'll hit 1 million subscribers. I don't know about that one, bro. But hey, I'll keep trying. Ind says, I would love to see a consolidation of 2 of our vet men guys for a solid wing, like a Justin Holiday type. Probably take a second rounder or 2 as well. I mean, maybe. We'll see about that. Peter says, they don't win enough, but LeBron's going crazy. Yeah, I mean, they don't win enough, and that's the only reason why. If the Lakers are top 5 or 4 in the West, which they realistically can do, you look at the standings. 5th seed is so close to the Lakers, even though they're 19-19. Because the West this year is so top heavy and injured. So the Lakers have their shot at top 5. Scholar says, make me a moderator, dude. I could block comments with ignorant clause in comments. I mean, listen, man, like, I don't mind it. You can't please everyone. And that's just what I've learned. You can't please everyone. Hey, it's all about whatever, right? Drew says, come on, Green's doing really well this year. Yeah, he is doing really well this year. Draymond is doing fantastic this year. And I'm glad he has responded the way that he has this year, because these past couple of years have not been it for him. And it's good to see that he's playing good again. Hassan says, Monk is going to be that dude in the future. Yeah, Monk is that guy. I love Malik Monk. Isn't he only like 23? Hold up. I need to see. I'm pretty sure he's only like 23 years old or something. Yeah, he is only 23. This guy's only 23. The confidence that this guy has is like he's 29. I love Malik Monk, dude. He's great. Man. Drew says the Warriors beat the Suns with bodies down and the Suns were fully healthy. It was funny to watch on Christmas Day. I'll give y'all credit for beating the Suns, man. I want to see how the Warriors do in the playoffs, though. I do want to see that. Viking says, I'll trade Westbrook right now for a bag of Lay's because that's only 25% chips and the rest is air. Viking, you've been saying some funny stuff. Peter says, good night, y'all. We'll check in next time. Appreciate you, Peter, for coming through the stream. I'll see you next time. And have a good night, man. In says, we're so lucky the West has been so average this year. I mean, as bad as we've been, and to be right outside the 5 seed, it's crazy. We'll have to beat Phoenix or Golden State either way, so 4 or 5 is fine. Listen, I don't care what seed we are, because if you want to be a champion, you should not be losing games or whatever the case is in the standings to avoid a team. You got to beat the best to be the best. So I don't care what seed the Lakers are. I don't care. I hope we see the Warriors in the playoffs. I hope we see the Suns in the playoffs, especially the Suns. They beat the Lakers last year. LeBron was crippled. AD was crippled. KCP was crippled. Wesley Matthews was crippled. I want revenge. I want it badly. But yeah, I mean, and you're right about the West being average. It's top heavy, right? The Clippers are injured. The Nuggets are injured. We're injured. I mean, it's just all over the place. Hassan says, what player do you think deserves the MVP conversation? I mean, you can go off with plenty. I mean, obviously you have to include a Bulls player like DeMar DeRozan. He is in the MVP conversation. Giannis is in the MVP conversation. KD is in the MVP conversation. Steph Curry is in the MVP conversation. LeBron James should be in the conversation. So, man. Viking says, get us in the playoffs, bro. Marshmallow Davis alongside with Bakery Russ. Bring it on. Yeah, GG, I will say it again. DeMar DeRozan is an MVP candidate. That guy. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Kobe would be so lethal in this league. You're seeing what DeRozan is doing. His footwork, his mid-range, his ability to that clutch gene that he has. DeRozan is that guy. That's what I'm saying. If Kobe was in this league too, he'd be doing just that, if not more. That's all I'm saying. I think it's fair to say that. But man, DeRozan is just crazy this year. Drew Dawson says Curry will win it this year. We shall see. There are plenty of other good teams this year, man. I'll tell you what. This might come down to like the closest MVP race we might have had in a while. Because these past previous years, we knew, oh, Giannis, easy. Oh, Giannis, this. But this year, who knows? And 1998 says, DeRozan out here hitting one-legged threes for the win. Yeah, dude, it's like, when I saw that, when you guys sent that through Discord, by the way, which I attached a link in the description, so y'all can go ahead and join that. When you guys sent me DeRozan's one-legged three-point shot, the first thing I thought of was Kobe's one-legged three-point shot game winner against the Miami Heat. That was crazy. Viking says, nothing would make me happier than to see DeRozan win this year's finals, this year's MVP. He's a great guy playing out of his mind. 100% agree with you. No disagreements there. Hassan said, if Monk had his own team, he will be that dude. He would be that dude, but eventually, Hassan, I think he will grow into an individual who can lead, at least a playoff team as the best player. So, man. Brody says, did you see when Curry set the world record for threes? I did. It was crazy. And Gigi said, did you see the Wizards one? I did. Those were both crazy. Drew Dawson says, James Wiseman is what the Warriors need to win it all. And Klay Thompson coming back, all my Warriors needed to win it all. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why we need more people in the Discord chat. We're talking about DeRozan, the Bulls. We're talking about Malik Monk, the MVP conversations. And then all of a sudden, James Wiseman and Klay Thompson are what the Warriors need. We all love Drew. P. Jones says the Lakers still trash. Stop the cap. We shall see about that, P. Jones. All I'm saying is a win is always a step in the right direction. Drew Dawson says the Nuggets dodged the Warriors. That's met the number one I want to say. That's been the number one I want to say. Are you talking about the postseason or something? In terms of the standings or what? I don't know what you're trying to say. But man, this chat is going off. Viking says Monk is everything Russ ain't. That boy got manners at these post-game interviews, win or lose. I don't want to split our team up like that, but I get what you mean. Hassan says, do you think James Wiseman could be a star like LaMelo or Anthony Edwards? I'm not sure if he'll get the opportunities like a LaMelo or an Anthony Edwards to begin with, but James Wiseman definitely has potential to do something special in this league. Brody, everybody chant Lakers and chat. Okay. Okay. I will go ahead, send out the Discord link once again, because I know people are starting to leave or whatever the case is, but there's the Discord link. Y'all can go ahead, join it. Drew's in it. Gigi's in it. Albert is in it. We got our good crew in there, and we're just talking about whatever. But yeah. P. Jones says, watch their pick and roll defense is trash. We barely beat them without Cat and Russell. Yeah, I will agree with you about our pick and roll defense being trash, but that's where AD can come in and hopefully lose that 10 to 15 pounds and just be better. And also another thing, P. Jones, I didn't like was how Minnesota out-rebounded us by so much. I mean, what do they have? Like 18, 19 offensive rebounds? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, like, we were winning a good amount of the game, but looking back, I'm like, how did we win? But either way, a win's always headed in the right direction for us. So I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying. Viking says, we got Westbrook and we still won, though. We deserve like an ESPN award for these wins. Yeah, Westbrook didn't have a good game today. I'll give you that. Hassan said, well, Wiggins deserves to be an all-star. I'll tell you what about Wiggins, man. He has been playing. I mean, listen, I was tough on Wiggins. You know, he had a pretty good rookie year, whatever the case was, and he was always a guy in my eyes who never really progressed his game and took us to the next level because he was always being compared as a young Kobe in his first year when he was posting up on Kobe and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, Wiggins has potential, but he's not getting that much better. And he was ranked statistically as one of the worst defenders in the league. So the way that he's playing this year, I'm happy for him. P. Jones, you're right. 53-27. That's just unacceptable. The Lakers can't have that happen moving forward. But all I'm telling you, P. Jones, is that when you win, I don't care how you do it sometimes, considering what this team has been through already, I'm fine with it. You know, we won, and that's all that matters to me. Brody Shirley says, all right, dude, I'm heading out. Y'all have a nice day. Hey, thanks for coming through, Brody. Hope to see you next time, but have a good night, man. But man. Let's see here. But yeah, you see, I mean, in the Discord chat, Andrew's much more active on Discord. But yeah, NBA Dispensary says Wiggins needs to be put in a good system where he can thrive as a 4 option. Agree with you. I mean, Wiggins is just, I mean, you see it. When he was with Minnesota, he was never, I don't even know what Minnesota's system is, you know? Like, Minnesota has always been just, I mean, come on, it's Minnesota. So once Wiggins really just got himself associated with a good system like Golden State, he's not even asked to do everything. He's not asked to be the primary scorer. He's playing much more efficient. He's playing better defense. He's just being better. And you're right about he can be put as a 4 option. He'd be great. Viking says, I'll tell you what, bro, trade Westbrook for Dellavedova and we'll be back in the finals. Uh-huh. In 1998 says, just join the Discord. Appreciate it, bro. You know, we, like I mentioned before, this Discord, we're actually very active. And once it gets to that point, you know, there's going to be many more features added into the Discord. It's just a matter of time. I still have some planning to do regarding that and just things in terms of what I want to do with my channel as well. And there's a lot of decisions to be made with it. And but it's cool. I mean, it's cool that you joined the Discord because we're all there to talk about what we love, and that's basketball, it's sports. So it's dope. It is dope. Gigi said, we need people that like to chat on Discord. So if that's you, then join. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, like, even, I know this is a Laker Nation all day kind of deal. Like, oh, I post Laker content. But I can't tell you how many times, you know, the Discord, we're talking about the Warriors, the Bulls, the Jazz, the Knicks, you know, the Cavs. So it's not even just about the Lakers. So if you guys want to go ahead, join on there, go ahead and do so. We'd love to have you on there. We're all great people too. You know, no one's toxic in there. No one is toxic. So we all have our disagreements when we debate, but no one's toxic, and that's the most important part. That's what I love the most. No toxicity, none of that BS in there. Okay, I think y'all know what I mean when I say that. At least I think you do. Cross my fingers. But yeah. Viking says, this one time I had a dream about the house burning down because my burnt toast, but then Westbrook saved me by turning over the bread. Oh my God. Gigi says, Bulls fan. Yep. No Knicks fans allowed. Hey, man, if you're a Knicks fan, I want to see a Knicks fan in that chat. Please, I want to see it. In 1998 says, basketball fans not being toxic with a raised eyebrows. Bet. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's kind of hard to get people like that, but I assure you that the people in the chat right now are not toxic, actually, which is surprising. There's a lot of toxic people in basketball nowadays, so I mean, it's kind of hard to come across people who are not, but I assure you there aren't. But yeah. Let's get it going. The chat kind of slowed down a little bit. I might need to drink some water or something because there were a lot of people in here earlier. See, Gigi, you were here from stream 1 or 2. I think it was 2. Yeah, You remember that one time where the stream just blew up and it went to like 70, 80 people. I think at some point during this stream, there was like 100 people. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know what really causes it, but I just go ahead and just keep doing my thing. I don't get it. So, yeah. But man. So let me get this straight. Kate says go Lakers. Agreed, Kate, go Lakers. Hopefully we can get more wins coming, you know? We gotta beat the Kings. We got to beat the Kings. Gigi said you had 147 people in here earlier. Really? I mean, so many comments were coming in, and I was just talking about what we love and stuff like that. I didn't even have time to look and see that I had 147. I just saw triple digits. But that's crazy. That is crazy. But yes, Kate, go Lakers. Hopefully we can get some wins. We gotta win next game against Sacramento. Get a win streak going. We can build something special. I really do believe that. But it's gonna take one game at a time, and we gotta just go out there and I do believe that this is the start of a winning streak. Like you said, Kate, I do believe that this is the start of a win streak. I do believe that once we're getting our players back, Malik Monk's getting more minutes. We're just getting more chemistry going. I just think I think it's a starting something special. So I agree with you, Kate. Viking says Westbrook is the new terminology teachers should use now in the kindergarten when they say go to the next page. So let me get this straight. People in the chat, y'all don't like Westbrook. Y'all don't like AD. Y'all love LeBron, though. I love all the Lakers, man. I can't, the day that the Lakers play the Warriors again, and I hope the Lakers win. If the Lakers win and beat the Warriors, I need Drew in the chat. I need it. I need it for the sake of my thing. Gigi says, I don't love LeBron. No, I know you don't. I know you don't love LeBron. But I'm talking about the others. Yeah. In says, take the AD hate out of here, man. Dude is a monster when it counts. 100% agree with you. AD gets way too much hate. He tries his best. He really does. AD plays his style, and when he's told to play something else, it made him uncomfortable. He got injured, and I'll go over it again. That injury he had against Minnesota, anyone would have gotten injured. His defender got pushed into him, and he got injured. How can you blame AD for that? Gigi says, but I do find myself wanting the Lakers to win lately so the bro could be happy so he doesn't go on live stream rants. Yeah, I do go with, I do rant a lot when the Lakers lose. I'm too passionate about them, Gigi. I don't like it when they lose. In says, everything is so overblown with AD, averages over 30 in the playoffs, misses the normal amount of times of other star centers. Embiid misses way more time than him, to be honest. Preach that, End. Preach that, man. Please. I don't know how much more accurate you can get than what End just said. I mean, man, it's all about whatever the media says, but AD plays in about 75 to 80% of his team games, which is an offer. Yeah, but here's the thing. See, this is also a huge reason why I started my own channel, guys. I know a person asked this question earlier. Why did you start your own channel? Obviously, I love sports. I love basketball. I love the Lakers. This is my life. But I can't tell you how much I hate the media sometimes. The narratives the media comes up with. All this stuff they say about certain players. I made this channel so we can just be real about it, okay? I don't like this toxicity that the media is putting out there for headlines, okay? The media's job, and I'll tell you what, I used to be a part of the media, okay? I used to. It was toxic. You have to try getting something out of the media's job is to try getting something out of someone for them to get paid. That's their job. They want a negative headline. And it affects teams, it affects players, it affects chemistry, and I never liked media. Never said they don't have anything good, but they're very toxic. And I'm on here because I'm just not trying to be like them, okay? We're just trying to be real with whatever situation that, player's in or whatever. That's what I'm trying to build here. Let's see here. Viking says, no, we like AD when he had something to prove. That's all. That boy's literally the most gifted big man and underperformed 2 seasons straight. Classic case of numbers are misleading. That is true to a certain extent. Last season, though, he was injured. He had an Achilles strain, Viking. When you have an Achilles injury, that's not something that you mess with. Last season, I'm gonna excuse AD for last season. So I'm not going to talk about last season. Eric Wilson says Skip Bayless is the best media man. Skip Bayless is funny. I'll give you that. Ind says, I do understand the genuine Laker fans being upset with AD the last 10 games before he's injured, because he was low-key passive. But before that, dude was 25 and 11. Most rebounds in his career, like second in blocks, first in points in paint, first in dunks. I don't know what more you want, but yeah, we on the same page. His advanced metrics are crazy up there too, so whatever metrics you want to use. Listen, I've watched the Lakers every game this season, and I will tell you there are spurts where I'm like, AD just got to be that guy. But at the same time, I do believe his criticism is just a little too much, and which is why I more so agree with you. The media is just killing AD, and I don't like it. Gigi says Bulls can't even get media attention, and we're currently number 1 in the East. I think it's because they talk about us, then they have to admit that they're wrong about DeMar being the worst signing of the offseason. Yeah, Gigi, here's the thing. Everyone counted out the Bulls. When y'all did what you did in the offseason, right, the media criticized them, and now they're being proved wrong, so they don't want to talk about the Bulls because everyone knows that they're wrong about it. But I think it's better that you guys aren't getting the media attention, because at the end of the day, do you really want that toxic atmosphere, that toxic, component to your guys' locker room or whatever the case is? Seriously, the Bulls are in a perfect situation. Great young team, fun to watch, good veterans, number 1 in the East. It's great. Viking says we want him to be that guy, but I guess we're all seeing now that he's just a number 2. I also do think that LeBron is on the team, and there's no way you can be the number 1 with LeBron on a team, Viking. AD in the 2020 playoffs was a monster, but LeBron was even more of a monster. So that's why we call him our number 2. It's not even a bad thing. You're number 2 to LeBron. So when people say Kobe was number 2 to Shaq, right? It's not that he was carried by Shaq. It's not that AD is carried by LeBron. It's just, it's so hard to be better than that guy, that Shaq, or that LeBron, right? That's what I think of it. Yeah, the Bulls are definitely fun to watch. I can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs. I really hope they knock off a team like the Nets. I really hope so. I don't like the Nets. I'm sorry, I just don't. But I feel like we're missing someone. Someone comes in the stream like every time. I feel like we're missing him. Not sure. But let us see what is good. Almost at an hour and 30 now. And dang. That's all I could say. Dang. This chat's been popping off. Albert or Sonny, yeah, both of them. I think both of them have been missing, but at the same time, it's like, pretty sure they got their own things. I mean, I don't expect anyone to, man. Ind says, I want a genuine answer. Who's winning the East? I think Brooklyn will this year. Last year, I had Milwaukee beating Brooklyn. That was my pick. And I got a lot of criticism for it. But this year, I genuinely believe that the Nets can do something about it and make the finals this year. As good as the Bulls are, the playoffs are a different beast. We know DeRozan's history with the playoffs. Everything has to go right for the Bulls if they want a chance at beating the Nets in the playoffs. As far as the Bucks are concerned, they also have a good shot at it, right? And same with the Miami Heat. But I just think the Nets, the Bucks, they're on a different level. The Bulls are sort of there too, and then the Heat are, sort of there too. Gigi said it depends on Kyrie. Yeah, a certain extent it does. We'll see how that works. It's very interesting. That's what I love about basketball nowadays compared to a couple of years ago. I don't know who's going to win. I think Milwaukee could take down the Nets, but Kyrie obviously playing makes it so hard. Giannis unlocked something though. Dude's been crazy good since the playoffs. Yeah, he has been crazy good since the playoffs, and it's ridiculous. Giannis, I've always said this. Giannis has the potential to be, top 5 player of all time or something of that sort. The way that he's been playing and progressing his game every single year, always being in MVP conversations, always title contending nowadays. He has that potential. Let's see. Viking says no one was going to be the number one other than Shaq on those teams. My point is that AD was supposed to be the leading scorer on this team. We've seen him do it in 2019-20 season. Just been disappointing. I guess in that asset it could be disappointing, right? But like I mentioned earlier, at the end of the 2020 season, LeBron talked about how he had a really, really bad foot. So he started off the year with a bad foot because of the fact that there were only 2 months in the offseason. And then that Achilles strain. So if you push it anymore, you're gonna tear your Achilles, and then boom, gone AD. So I get what you mean. It has been disappointing, but you got to feel for AD in a sense that he really can't catch a break with some of these injuries sometimes. Especially the injuries this year. None of those were his fault. I think I don't know. Let's see. In says just the media stuff is way too loud, and AD's clearly a top 7 or 8 player still. Yeah, he is a top 7 or 8 player still, but ain't nobody want to have that conversation. They don't want to have it. They're just criticizing AD every chance they get. Let's see what else. Defensively, he takes all the burden and changes the game every single possession. Agreed, he does. AD really has to do a lot, and it doesn't get much credit, in my opinion. It's kind of sad, but I mean, hey, he won a chip, right? So it is what it is. Viking says we know that LeBron's gonna be that dude in the playoffs, but though these games in the regular season, he was supposed to take the heavy load. The thing with LeBron, I've been noticing these past 10 games is uh he's not being the primary ball handler like how he used to be. He's playing extremely well off the ball, extremely efficiently, not so many turnovers because he's playing more down in the post, more playing like a center. So in a sense, he's able to kind of take less of the load when it comes to that. But yeah, good thing Braun is not clearly not a human being. He's honestly not. AD is literally more gifted than Giannis, and we're supposed to accept him being as a top 7 or 8 player. When AD is healthy and he is dominant, and when he has it on, in my opinion, he is a better player than Giannis. But that's so if this, if that. The fact is, he hasn't been that in a while, so Giannis has surpassed him easily. AD and Giannis are the 2 best power forwards in the league when healthy, but man, it is something, man. It is something. In says, I mean, come playoff time, he's been top 3 every single playoffs he's been in. Agreed. You know something I like. Viking says, prior to this injury, do you think he's had a great season? I don't think he's had a great season. I think he's had a solid season. I think he's had good games. But like I mentioned before, when you change your play style to cater to the Lakers analytics and all that stuff of him playing center and all those things, it's hard. And but to answer your question, no, I don't think he had a great season. I just think he had a solid season. That's all. And when you think of AD, you think of more than just solid. AD has the ability to be great, an all-time great. So I do see where you're coming from, Viking. But it's nice to have like a legitimate conversation about AD rather than people calling him just trash and stuff. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with that, Viking. But but um I'm not gonna sit here and say trade AD. I'm not gonna sit here and say AD is pathetic. You know, the comments that I have seen on here sometimes, or just in general in social media, especially Twitter, toxic. This is a guy who helped us win a championship. This was a guy who brought excitement back to Lakerland. Because when LeBron came to the Lakers, his first season was a disappointment, a failure. He got hurt. Then the narratives are LeBron's never going to win another chip again. He's not going to win a chip with the Lakers. And then AD comes through and he changes the culture in a sense. So I'm sorry. When people trash AD, it's just not fair to him. Not fair. If AD never played another game as a Laker ever again, I'd still be appreciative of what he did for the Lakers. That's my take from it. And says, I really don't get that either. Why have we forgotten the championship so quick? I don't understand it either, man. I guess it's just so much happened since then, right? I don't know. Viking says, I just hate the fact he's so talented and he's not living up. He's not playing to his potential prior to his injury. Do you remember how he looked against Giannis when he scored 18 points without LeBron? Yeah, I do. I think AD just needs to lose the weight that he put on. Just go back to what you used to be and just play basketball. I do agree with you. Here's the thing. I agree with both of your guys' assessments on AD. Like, Viking, you're right about the fact that this guy's so talented. He's not living up to it. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, these injuries, like, look, he's trying his best. He really is. But let's not, you know, AD's still pretty darn good, even this season. Interesting, though. And there are plenty of other people in the chat, so if y'all want to change the subject or anything, go for it. Because there's only so much to talk about when it comes to AD, right? Yeah. Dominated the Spurs, and he forgot who he was after that game. Viking says he's so gifted, but it seems like he doesn't have that alpha mentality to him. It's just frustrating because we know what he can be, and we can't use injuries because prior to this injuries, he wasn't great. Which season are you referring to? Because I feel like every season he's injured. Like I mentioned, 2020 was probably his best year without injuries, and he put up great stats. He played amazing. Then at the end of the season, for this season. I mean, yeah, that's fair. But like I mentioned before, he put on more weight. He was told to play center. He was told to play more bully ball. He was never raised as a basketball player to play bully ball. That's not what his strengths were. His strengths were to do multiple things that other players could not do at his height. In says, I'll talk AD all night. That's my dude. But yeah, I understand this type of criticism. I don't accept the media criticism, though. It's crazy overblown, like we all said. I agree with that. That's why I said I agree with you both in some ways, right? And I love how you bring that point in. Like, I'm okay with this kind of criticism because this kind of criticism is more constructive criticism, right? It's fair criticism. But when people talk about, oh, AD's trash, AD is worthless, AD needs to go, AD's this, that's when I think it's just unfair and it's just ridiculous. It's been 2 years now. He's come out sloppy. We can agree on that. And then he got injured. So it's not like he was dominant before then. Listen, the thing with AD is just he needs to go back to what he used to be. That's all I'm going to say. 2020 AD, we need that back. Hopefully we can get that back. I'm telling you now, if we get 2020 AD back, the Lakers are going to win the championship. Calling it now, but and the Lakers are one of the top teams in pace this year. So when you ask AD to gain weight, he slows down significantly. He gets more tired. Phil Handy even said AD gets more tired quickly. So when this team runs so much, AD's going to get more tired. He's going to have less lift on his jump shot. He's going to have a less step on defense, right? So this year's been rough for AD, but just in the sense that the play style the Lakers have been playing with just has not fit him. Especially considering the fact they told him to put on weight. So I don't know why. I don't agree with that. The one thing that keeps me confident is last year was rough. I understand after having like a 3-week off season. And then it was dominant until his injury against Phoenix in that series. They literally had no answer for AD in games 2 and 3. It was a joke. That's the thing. When AD has it on, you can't stop AD when he has it on. It is literally ridiculous. If AD has it on, woo! Viking says the year we got AD, it literally looked like we had the top 2 players on our team. That's what we hold him to, which is harsh. I guess that's his potential, and he's reached it before. I agree with you, Viking. He has the potential to be a top 2 player in the world. In fact, when he was with New Orleans the season before, a couple seasons before he joined the Lakers, one of his things was he was included in the conversation as the best player in the world with LeBron and James Harden, of course, and Steph. He was in that conversation. So AD's capable. We know AD's capable, but it's just a matter of him getting right, of him getting healthy. Then I think it's more fair to say, okay, how can we be with AD moving forward? And it says, I nostalgically rewatch those highlights all the time. Haha, I agree. Yeah, I do too. In fact, the other day I watched AD highlights. I'm like, man, this guy, I want this AD back. I want AD back. One of AD's first game with the Lakers was when he played Minnesota and he had 50 points. Man, that was a great time. Sorry, 40 or 50, I don't remember. And he had like 20 rebounds. Great times, dude. Yeah, I think that's the same game we're referring to, and the 25 free throw game against Minnesota. That was one of their first games of the season. And all the Laker fans were loving it, chanting MVP to him and not to LeBron. And I'm like, man, this is what it's come to. AD is that guy. He had like 40 and 23 quarters. That's what it was. Yeah. And then dropped 45 in New Orleans. So we know he's capable. That's why I agree with you, Viking, to that extent. He's capable. It's just a matter of getting there, getting healthy, getting right. One game at a time. That's all I got to say about it. Can I just say one thing, though? Where's Gigi? And as soon as they say, where's Gigi? He is back. That's a good question. I don't know. Is it IND or LDN? I think it's an L. Yeah, that's what I thought. Viking says, good times, man. Good times. Yeah. Yeah. That's those were good times. Gigi says, I'm here, y'all. We're talking about the Lakers. All good. Feel free to bring anything else up, Gigi. But yeah. It's LMAO. It's all good though. It's Lance. Okay, I'll just call you Lance then. Or LND, whatever. I don't know. Whatever you prefer. It doesn't matter to me. Oh man, I'm excited. Hopefully the Lakers can just start winning some more games and let's get it going, you know? Let's just get this going. Let's get some wins. Tired of losing, tired of these losing streaks, tired of the media constantly bashing on us. Let's get some wins. Lil, not gonna lie, I remember being scared of the Clippers that year. Like those guys have be the chills for real. Yeah, that's because the media hyped the Clippers up like crazy, you know? And that was the same year where Kawhi won the chip with Toronto, and then he came to the Clippers, and then he added an MVP candidate that year, the year before, and Paul George. And then the media is like, dude, like, the Clippers are the best. LND says, then they didn't even make it to us in the playoffs. Hey, watch that. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, the Clippers beat us opening night, Christmas Day. And Christmas Day, we had a lead. We just choked it because LeBron played like garbage. I remember that game. And then the next game was in March. It was right before COVID happened, and the Lakers beat them. And then the NBA season resumed, and then the Lakers beat them in the bubble. So we went 2-2 against them. Yeah, yeah. LND says they had no playmaking and not just enough pressure on the rim. They somewhat fix those problems now, but Kawhi and PG just aren't elite playmakers, and they play the same position. I agree with you. I mean, when people wanted to talk about fit, I just never understood how Kawhi and PG were gonna work 100%. I knew like superstars and stars, they get it to work, but like PG and Kawhi, I don't know what the Clippers' identity is, and when they play together, it's just like, what am I? Sometimes you don't even know what you're watching on the offensive end. Viking says, bro, I remember coming home and seeing them blow the lead in game 7. Good times, man. Good times. Pandemic Pete. That was like the way that the Lakers were playing in the playoffs prior to the Lakers being the Nuggets, or sorry, prior to the Clippers losing to the Nuggets, I'm like, man, like we really got to shop them, man. I do think that GG. The way the Bulls have been playing, if they finish top something in the East, like they've been playing fantastic all season long, and just based off record wise and what they've done with their roster, the roster turnaround, they're criticized for getting DeRozan. They're criticized for even paying Lonzo that much. Caruso, obviously, I always thought that was going to be good for them. I mean, just the move they've made. Vucevic, I know that was before, but still, this is. I think he will win Executive of the Year. And that's my point. It's his first full year, and this is the progress that the Bulls have made. They have gone from a team that hasn't made the playoffs since 2017 to the number one team in the East so far, record-wise. So, man, 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 man. LND says that night was elite NBA Twitter. I don't love Twitter. I hate Twitter, in fact, but I agree with you. Viking, what's funny about that series, though, is that Porzingis got hurt. And then he got ejected. I think it was game 3 or something for the most BS thing ever, and the Clippers won. We all knew if Porzingis hadn't gotten hurt, and if he hadn't gotten ejected in game 3 or whatever it was, I genuinely believe the Mavericks beat him in 7. So they're lucky to get past the Mavericks. I wonder what Mr. Egghead Jim Boylan is doing right now. I couldn't tell you, man. What is he doing right now? He's taking on responsibilities of head coach for USA Basketball World Cup qualifying team. Then he had Then he represented the FIBA World Cup qualifying games. Yo, Luka cooks the Clippers every year, but they have a perimeter defense apparently. That's the thing. He's at NBA TV. Oh man. Jim Boylan. Yeah, I'll give him that. The Clippers have a great coach in Ty Lue. I like Ty Lue more than Doc Rivers. That's just me. Call me crazy. I like Ty Lue more. I think Doc Rivers is such an overrated coach. It's kind of ridiculous. The leads that he has blown. I think he underachieved in Boston. I'm sorry. I like Ty Lue more. I do. Man. Viking says Ty Lue's a top 3 coach in the league. Is that a hot take, anyone? Call me crazy. Now, I'm not saying this guy's a top 3 coach. But I am saying Frank Vogel is a great coach. Call me crazy, but I like Frank Vogel as a coach. That's just me. Y'all can disagree with that, but I like Frank Vogel as our head coach. He's also another guy who's been getting criticized. And I don't think it's fair to put all the blame on him. Kerr, Spo, T. Lue are my top 3. Pop is an all-time great, obviously, but I don't know where to put him anymore. I don't know either. Spurs aren't really doing much. The Heat with Spoelstra, obviously good. Steve Kerr, yeah, he's in there. Do you have Monty Williams in there with the Suns? I'll tell you what, Monty Williams, everyone says he's the reason why the Suns are doing the things that they're doing. Because even before CP3 joined, the Suns went 8-0 in the bubble. Monty Williams changed the culture of the Phoenix Suns organization. Are we going to have him in that top list? Because I'm like, dude, Monty Williams is a fantastic coach. I'll take Monty Williams over Ty Lue. I think. Yeah. Agreed. I will. Top coaches, I just think Monty Williams, not in this order. Monty Williams, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, man. I do agree with you to a certain extent about Frank Vogel. But defense is just so hard to teach. And the fact that he can do it, and we've seen the Lakers before this year, they're top 5 in defense all years with Frank Vogel. And even with Indiana, all those years, they're top in defense. It's hard to be a good defensive team in the league. It is so hard. And defense creates good offense. I've always believed that. Defense wins championships. We've seen Frank Vogel win a championship. Viking says Sun's success is maybe a lot more to do with Paul than Monte, I think. LND says, I always wondered if Frank is as limited as we play sometimes, or if it's just like, well, we have Bron, so we won't implement that much scheme-related stuff. I think with LeBron on a team, I think it's just in general, when you have a talent like LeBron, you have to revolve your game plan around a great player like LeBron. That's just hard, though. If you if you game plan away from LeBron, then LeBron's not going to be as effective. So maybe that's why he's a little limited. Oh yeah, Viking, 100% agree with you. Frank Vogel's definitely the best defensive coach in the league. You know, last season, right, when we had Montrezl Harrell and Marc Gasol at center, and AD was out for a long time with the Achilles strain. LeBron was out for a while with the high ankle sprain. Guess what? We're rated number 1 in defense. That's a product of Frank Vogel right there. He is by far the best defensive head coach in the league, which is why I'm saying you can't fire Frank Vogel. I'm sorry, you just can't. I think offense can be taught by a lot of people, assistant coaches. But Frank Vogel's just ridiculously, he's known for defense. And I agree with you, LND. Spo's another guy that comes from mind, but I think Vogel is still the better defensive head coach. Yeah. There's still 18 people in here, but we only got like 2 people commenting. So I'm curious to see who they are. Y'all can assert yourselves if you want. Like I mentioned before, you guys can comment down anything. Viking said, I'm glad you brought up Harrell. When he benched Trez when we needed the scoring in the series against the Suns, we literally couldn't score the ball. So that's why I said what I said about the offense. Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, Viking, the Suns, they made it all the way to the finals. They took 2 games away from the Bucks. I'm not sure how far the Lakers would have gone, even if Vogel had put in Trez, because the Suns were just bigger and they were scoring at will in the paint, and Montrez was simply not doing anything in the playoffs. There's a reason why he didn't really do much in the playoffs with the Clippers. It wasn't just with the Lakers. Yeah. L&D says those old Pacers teams were crazy on D. They were. I mean, you had Lance, right? Roy Hibbert, Paul George, Danny Granger, George Hill. That was a great team. And really, they took the Heat to 7 games. Like that Miami Heat team, that was crazy. Trez dominated the Dubs 3 years ago in the playoffs. It's weird how bad he's been the last 2 years. I think that could be a case because of the fact how the Warriors didn't have a big man. They just didn't. The Nuggets had Jokic, and the Suns had DeAndre Ayton. So they're 2 different things. Trez couldn't really do much against those kind of guys as opposed to the Warriors. Who do the Warriors have a big man? Jordan Bell? Was he the starting center? I don't even remember who the Warriors had at center in 2019. It's been a while. I really can't remember. I think Jordan Bell was playing for the Warriors that year though. Kevon Looney. I mean, Kevon Looney's all right. Call me K says, "What's up, buddy? Hey, what's up, man? What's good?" Viking says, "We weren't defending the Suns without him on the floor anyways because Booker was going off, so you might as well had Trez on the court for the points. We couldn't score for long stretches." Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're up 2-1. We had our chances. We just couldn't get the job done, and it happens. I believe everything happens for a reason, and you look at the groin injury. I think it was a blessing in disguise because had LeBron put in all his energy and efforts with Lonzo, Ingram, Hart, right, they weren't going to win the championship that year. And who knows, maybe LeBron breaks down the first year with AD and then we don't win a championship in 2020, right? Bulls signed Jordan Bell to a 10-day, and so far all he's done is be DeMar's ball boy. Yeah. Call Me K says, really need Jeremy Grant. Do you like that move? I mean, I don't think we need him. I need to see a trade offer first. LND says that's exactly my point. Once AD went down, you had to lean to offense because we had no way to stop them defensively. Yeah, it's true. But like I said earlier, guys, like even if Montrez was playing those games, if we beat Phoenix, best case scenario, are we winning the championship? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't even know. Let me go ahead. Because I'm about to end the stream soon. Probably like 5 minutes or so. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send the Discord link in the chat. Like I mentioned before, it's a chat where we just talk whatever, right? Sports, anything, right? We've talked about non-Laker things all the time. And y'all can join it, right? Very active. And it's a way for us to kind of just communicate like in this little community, you know? So yeah. Viking says, like what you were thinking though, wouldn't you rather just have a game plan without him to know start knowing more than he'll be now? I mean, yeah. But here's the thing, man. I don't like looking too much into the past, right? Because ultimately, even though Frank Vogel didn't play Trez, he still won us a chip in 2020. So that's what I value more than, oh well, first round against Phoenix, right? And I value top 5 rated defense every single year with them, except for this year so far because of COVID, injuries, all this other stuff. So I'm not going to hold it against Frank too much. LND says, good talking with y'all, though. I'll see you guys in the Discord. Hey, see you, man. Appreciate you coming through the stream, supporting like always. And we'll see you in the Discord, man. But, man, I guess my closing topic will be just, dang. That's just crazy. It's just crazy to see how many people join. I mean, Gigi, you even mentioned yourself. I didn't keep count. I was just talking. This is a crazy stream. It was an absolutely crazy one. But, well, what's at the 2-hour mark? Just crazy. But when is the Lakers' next game? I know it's against Sacramento. I think it's on Tuesday. Yes. So they're playing the Sacramento Kings on Tuesday. What time? 7:30, I believe? Yeah. 7:30 p.m. And the game ends 10 p.m. Pacific. I will be streaming right after the Laker game finishes against the Kings. I expect the Lakers to win. I'm making a prediction that they're going to win. And like I mentioned before, I come out with the recap videos as well. Y'all can go ahead and check that out on my channel if you guys haven't already. But like I mentioned before, I really do appreciate the support and just anything in general. And yeah, appreciate it. Gigi says, I think it's the titles have to make them juicy. Probably. I mean, the titles have everything to do with clicking on the video in the first place. But here's the thing, Gigi. A lot of people make like a lot of people, put up just clickbaiting titles, but it is how I believe, Gigi. It's not just fake thoughts. Viking says, we'll catch up, brother. Another job for the Lake Show. I'll sleep great. Hey, all the time. LeBron's the GOAT and a better defender than Wade and Kobe. Had to sneak that in there later. Hey, LeBron was an elite defender in his prime. I'm not trying to take that away from him. But I appreciate you coming in through the stream, Viking. I'll see you in the Discord, and I'll see you in the stream next time when that is. So I'll catch you later, man. I appreciate you for coming through. Oh, man. And we're still getting people. Like, we're still getting people. Who is in this stream? Assert yourself. Who is in the stream? I'm about to end the stream now, so y'all can go ahead and just mention yourselves. But, yeah. I think that's it. Anything else you guys got to mention? Anything you want to put out there before I end the stream? It is that time, Gigi. It is that time. Are you going to do the countdown again? Samo Drake King says, King Sam. What's up? What's up, Sam? Even though you didn't comment, man, I appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I guess we're going off Gigi's countdown. But even though it's 30 seconds, that countdown's like 2 minutes. That countdown is 2 minutes. Yeah, Gigi, I'm not sure. You can just go ahead and resume your... Hey, man, I hope the same. Go Lakers. Hope they win the chip. Appreciate you coming through to the stream. If you want to join the Discord, go ahead. Links in the comments in the Discord. And hopefully the Lakers can build some wins, right? Lakers can hopefully just build this winning streak going. I hope they can just, build some momentum, build some chemistry. And I believe the Lakers at their best have the potential to win the championship. I've always believed that. But yeah, Gigi's countdown is at 23 seconds, but in reality, it's going to be like 40 or even a minute. So I'll just go ahead and wait. But like I mentioned before, thank you all for coming through. Seemed like a really interactive stream, which I always love the most. Appreciate y'all coming through, like always. Keep your eyes out for more future content. It's not just recap videos and streams. Obviously, I'm planning to make more videos and whatever the case is in the future. So y'all can go ahead and just keep your eyes out for that. But other than that, once GG ends the counter at 0, I'm going to end the stream because it's already past 2 hours. I'm losing my voice. Or not losing my voice, but I just need to stop talking. It's not like I have a co-host or anything like that, or a co-commentator where I can rest my voice for a little bit. But we have 7 seconds left. Anyone who wants to assert themselves, do it now. But other than that, have a great night. Happy New Year's to everyone, because I haven't said it since, ever, because this is my first video of 2022. And I will talk to y'all. See y'all in the next stream. All right, guys. Peace out. And as always, go Lakers. Are you going to end the count, Gigi? 0? Am I going to get a 0? 0. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.